First of all, you did not lose that fish because of your barbless hook, okay? Let's start there. Hey, I'm Ben. I'm a huge fly fisherman. Today's Huge Fly Fisherman video is about how to stop losing fish. But first, I have to mention that you can go to my website, hugeflyfisherman.com, where you can get huge fly fisherman stuff. You can also check out my other channel at special.tv, where you can see video stuff that you can't get on YouTube. Today's Huge Fly Fisherman video is about how to stop losing fish. So the first thing you need to know is that it's gonna happen. That's fishing. Sometimes it's your fault, sometimes it's not. There are three main reasons that you lose fish. The fish comes off the hook, the line breaks, or you just suck at fly fishing. So let's talk about all those things. First, we're gonna talk about when the fish comes off of the hook. He comes unbuttoned, he throws the hook, he spits it out. Wait, what? He spit it out? Stop saying that. The fish did not spit the fly out after it was hooked. Although I really think that's what happened to me yesterday. Anyway, one reason the fish falls off the hook is because you didn't keep tension on the line. You did not keep the line tight. Tight lines! Maybe you weren't stripping fast enough as the fish ran towards you. Maybe you dropped your rod tip and put slack in the line. Maybe you were messing with your phone to get a sick story for the gram and you failed to keep the line tight. Well, since you were fishing a barbless hook, the fly just fell out of the fish's mouth because there wasn't any tension on the line to keep the hook hooked. So just keep the line tight, like all the time. Tight lines! One thing I see trout fishing is that people forget they can move their feet. If you're standing on the ground or in the river or whatever and you need to gain a lot of line quickly, just back up. Run if you have to. Another reason the fish falls off the hook is because you didn't get a good hook set in the first place. That might be your fault, it might not. This past summer, I lost the biggest fish I've hooked in a couple years because I didn't get a good hook set. It was a tarpon. I knew I didn't get a solid hook set, I lost the fish, and it was my fault. I didn't set the hook hard enough to drive it home, and it fell out. My bad. But sometimes it's not your fault. Sometimes it's just bad luck. Like streamer fishing for trout. Those fish are just swiping at the fly all crazy, and you might hook them by a little bit of the skin on their lip, or maybe even the outside of the mouth. Your hook didn't end up in a great place, and it pulled free. That's just bad luck. You still suck though. Let's talk about jumping. The fish, not you. Keeping a fish on when it's jumping can be tricky. If I'm just trout fishing, normally I just try to keep tension on the line. But going back to tarpon, maybe you've heard of bowing to the silver king, which is a pretty cringy expression, but a good thing to do. When your big tarpon jumps, you point the rod at her to put slack in the line on purpose. Your hook will hopefully not fall out because it has a barb because you're tarpon fishing. And by putting slack in the line, when the tarpon jumps and goes crazy in the air, the hook won't pull out or the line won't break. And there's our segue. The other reason that you lose fish is because the line breaks. This is the opposite of not having enough tension on the line. It's too tight.
Tight like a tiger.
Unless you're a loser that fishes straight 60-pound leaders for tarpon, fly fishing is light tackle fishing. We use light lines and tippets. Breakoffs are gonna happen and it's usually your fault. Maybe you set the hook too hard and it broke off right away. Take it easy, Shaw Grigsby. Maybe you hooked the fish but broke it off when the fish was running and you were trying to clear the line and put the fish on the reel. The fly line got hooked on the rod butt, the reel handle, your beer can, your ear, who knows? It's a fly line. It gets caught on everything. So the fish is greyhounding to the horizon, you can't give it any line, snap. Probably the most common way that I see people break fish off is because they don't let it run. They clamp down. Your reel has a drag, use it. Or use your hands if you don't have the fish on the reel. When the fish runs, let it run. That's the fun part. But you need to have a light touch or let the drag do the work. If you have the death grip on your line and cork, ping! Another reason your line could break is because you're not failed. Again, that is your fault. Practice your knots, get good at them, and be careful when you're tying them. Lubricate them, and if they don't seat correctly, cut it off and do it the right way. If you don't and your knot fails on that big fish, you're gonna know exactly why, and you're not gonna be happy about it. Who knows that from experience? Me. And that's gonna wrap it up for this Huge Fly Fisherman video. And now that you've watched this video, there's no excuse for you to ever lose a fish again. I'll be back as soon as I can with another Huge Fly Fisherman video for you. Until then, go catch them up and stay huge. How annoying was that to deal with while you guys are trying to fish?
Oh, I just tune you out like normal.
Tune it out like normal? Nice. Max, anything you want to say to YouTube?
Say YouTube.